Hey everybody, Simone here with Bulletproof Business Growth, as always with some ideas and insights what to pay attention to when you're growing and scaling your business. And of late, we've been having quite a few conversations about burnout and why it's so prevalent with business owners. So we're going that direction again. I want to talk about the real reason you're burned out, and it's probably not what you think, because let me ask you something that might feel uncomfortably familiar. When you lay awake at night and you're thinking about whatever it is that's keeping you awake, is there ever a minute when you're like, how is it that I have a team and yet I'm still doing absolutely everything myself? Because if so, you're definitely not alone. It's something that we hear all the time, because here's the truth. Most small business owners didn't build a company. They built a dependency system with themselves kind of all at the center of everything. So you are the strategy, you are the quality control, you are the chief problem solver, the fire marshal, the therapist, whatever you want to add here. And that level of responsibility isn't just exhausting, it's unsustainable, and it's certainly not something that's scalable if that's where you want to go. But here's what most people get wrong about burnout. You're not tired because you're growing too fast or you're doing too many things. You're tired because you're still operating like it's day one. And even though your business has moved on, it's grown, it's changed, so many things have kind of come to it, but you haven't really changed the way that you're working in it. And that's the other problem, right? You're still working in it. So what if I told you that the solution, of course, isn't working harder? And now I'm not going to say it's working smarter. It's thinking differently. And that's the really big piece here. So today we're kind of busting the biggest myth about burnout and revealing how AI isn't just a tiny tool or some sort of tech fad. We all know it's here, and that's not something that's going to go away. So, but for you as a business owner, it truly is your secret weapon to reclaim your time, to reset your role, and finally step into leadership your business is now begging for, because that is the biggest reason that you're still stuck in the same place where you may have been stuck for a long time already. So why you're still stuck? Well, look, I mean, you didn't get here by accident. You got here because you're smart, you're driven, and you're willing to do what others won't. Many of you are working 80, 90 hours a week, and you're probably not getting even closely paid what you should be. So, but there's a point in every founder's and every business owner's journey where what got you here is not going to be the thing that gets you to the next level. So let's paint the picture here. So you've got a team, you've got clients, you're not new to this, you've been doing this for quite a while, but still what happens is every single major decision still runs through. Every fire, you are the fire marshal, the fire extinguisher. Every plan, you're the one who's pushing it across the line, who's making sure it's happening, who's following up, who's following through. So a lot of you, what I hear all the time is that your next thought for how to solve this is, I just need to hire a manager because they'll take care of the people thing, right? Or I just need a better assistant, a better tool, a better SOP. So you're thinking of all these external methods to fix an internal problem. But the truth here is you are actually solving the wrong problem, because what's keeping you stuck here is not your lack of help. It's the lack of structure that works without you. And that's also what's keeping your team stuck at the level they're at, because they are so used to you being all those things for them that they're expecting that you will be those things for them, and they don't do it for themselves. So this is a little bit of a wake-up call today. If your business can't run without you, you don't own a business, you own a job, and you probably one that you're vastly underpaid for. So, and that of course is not just exhausting, it's burning you out, it's dangerous, and when your business depends on you for function, burnout really becomes a threat, not just to your health, but also to your revenue, your team, and of course your sanity, because you can't keep going like this, especially as you've been owning this business for quite a while. So you might wonder, what's the way out here? And this is where AI sounds so sexy and so like, oh, this is the magic solution about everything. You've heard the hype of it's going to revolutionize your business, and ChatGPT will save you hours every day. And you know what? It's absolutely true. It can be revolutionary. But most business owners are stuck in what we call the AI trap, because they're using AI just at the very basic level one, where they use it kind of as a task assistance. So that could be asking Chat to write your newsletter or your emails, having it summarize your meeting notes, generating checklists, and all that stuff is fine. It's going to save you some time, except for you're still doing all the thinking. You're still doing all the strategizing. You're still kind of in the middle of everything. You're still setting the direction for everything. You're still reacting to problems instead of preventing them, and instead of having a whole core around you that prevents them so that you don't even have to think about it. So AI didn't change your role here. It just made your to-do list a little bit faster. So you're getting through it, but you're still doing the same number of stuff, and you're still doing the same number of stuff that's truly wearing you down and sucking up all your time and energy. So what if AI could do more than just help you type? What if it could actually help you think at a much higher level? So that's where we want to level up, and that is where we get level two, where you use AI to run repeatable systems, right? That's where you build your dashboards, where you build SOPs, where you assign tasks, where you automate reporting. So now you're actually starting to reclaim time in a much bigger way, but still all the strategic stuff is still on you. You're still the middle of everything. And that's where we get to level 3, where AI actually becomes something like your strategic partner. This is where the real leverage kicks in. So this is where AI can help you redesign your org chart based on outcomes, right? When you actually look at what are the outcomes that I need in the business and how does that distribute itself over all the different roles that I have, where you can pressure test decisions before you even make them, so that you can make sure that you have really considered all the different angles, where you can build team scorecards and accountability systems so that your team always know what they're responsible for, that they can be autonomous, that there's a shared way of being responsible, which of course adds more accountability, and where you can clarify the top 3 things that actually deserve your focus this week. So imagine that if you were really, really clear every single week what to actually focus on that moves the needle in your business. So at this level, AI isn't doing your busy work. It's helping you to, one thing, it's helping you to stop doing busy work, and it's helping you to up level to what you should actually be doing. So it's kind of like having a real COO on your team who never sleeps and who speaks in clarity and helps you uncover the stuff that you are not seeing right now. But here's the thing, you can't access level 3 if you never give yourself the time to think. And that's really where the number 1 step comes in. And that's the biggest shift to get you to a place where you can actually utilize all these systems in a really powerful way. And we always do that by starting with the miracle hour. So this is a habit where we encourage every single one of our clients to buy into, because without it, they'll never get to a place where they can actually make enough room in their schedules, in their brains, on their dance card to start looking at what else could I be doing here, right? And that question, how do I contribute at the highest level to my business today? And what does that look like in actual steps today and this week and this month and this quarter, right? If you don't ask those questions, you'll never get to a different reality than where you are right now. So it's pretty simple. It's 1 hour every single day where you work on your business and not in it. So that means this is not a time to answer your Slack. This is not a time to check your email. This is not a time to deal with broken client deliverables or whatever else is keeping you busy. So this is actual CEO time that you use to, say, review your strategic plan or actually make one, right? It's like right now we're dead in the middle of Q3. And what we've been talking to all of our clients about is like, how do you re-energize and fire up your plans again so not everybody goes to sleep in the middle of the quarter and forgets about everything that they're doing, which is actually what is happening right now. You just haven't really noticed it. So this is where you want to review this. This is where you want to clarify and reimagine maybe a team member's role, where you can clarify your next 90 days in a way that you're actually on point. And many of you will be thinking right now, I don't have the time to do that, which is exactly why you absolutely need to do it. So here's really where AI makes that hour incredibly powerful, because when you sit down and you ask, hey, help me audit my leadership role and help me identify the 5 biggest ways that I'm still acting like an operator, very quickly in like 30 seconds, AI can show you what you've been blind to for years, which could be, you're still managing client work directly. You are doing it, right? There's not a case manager. You are doing it. You are still the escalation point for every decision. You are in every meeting, whether you need to be there or not. And that's the kind of insight, right, that changes everything. So this is where you get to uncover your blind spots and challenge yourself to think differently. So when you combine that insight with space to actually act, what do you think is happening? So this is the beautiful place where you go from being a reactive manager to a strategic multiplier. And that's what absolutely needs to happen if you want your reality to change. So now that you have space and the tools, here's the really fun part. What are you actually going to do with them? And this is where a lot of our clients freeze, because they're so used to having their heads in it all the time. And when they have strategic space, it's kind of like, and now what do I do with that? Where do I actually want to go here? So they finally have a few hours back and they stare at a blank screen and they go, what should I even focus on? And this is where you can truly use AI like your executive coach, your strategist, and your business architect to help you uncover what to focus on. And this is kind of like all like one deal, right? So you can actually make this happen by taking an hour a day. So if you don't even know where to start, let's talk about some game-changing prompts here. You can, and depending on where you want to take this, right? You could say something like, hey, act as a COO. Audit my calendar and identify what I should delegate, automate, or what I should be doing, what I should stop doing altogether, which is a really important question to ask. And we talked about this in our mastermind today. Because if you don't look at what you should stop doing altogether, there's no way you're going to have room to actually start implementing something strategic. So you'll instantly see where your time is being drained by low leverage work. Or another one could be, hey, act as a strategic business partner. Help me redesign my org chart so that I'm not the go-to for everything. So if you're finding right now that every time there's something going on, your team goes directly to you, that would be a really good one. So you'll start seeing where your business is not just roles and tasks, But what you want to get to is you want to get to a place where you connect the dots between outcomes and ownership, right? So, and this is where you could really do that very easily. Another one could be, and I love this one, act as a leadership coach. Draft 3 coaching questions that I can use with my team this week to increase clarity and accountability, because generally when something is not happening, when our clients are not happy with their teams, it always goes back to clarity and accountability. So ask those questions. This is where you start leading like a real CEO. This is where you start looking at this not just as a taskmaster, but a coach and a mentor who can actually take the people that they have and help them up level and grow and get more valuable for the company. So here's where you're not answering every question. You're designing a business that can really answer itself, where you have really valuable players with you who are raised to think like you do. So you're not fixing every fire. You're building systems that, for one thing, prevents fires, but then also you're building people who can take care of everything for you, and you don't have to be the person. You're not making every decision. You're empowering your team to really own their own results, to be autonomous, to be owners of their outcomes. And that is a huge shift, and that's the power that I'm presenting here to you. So let me leave you with this. You're not burned out because you can't grow or you're growing too fast. You're burned out because you're still operating kind of like a one-person show, even if you have a team of 10. You're not leveraging your people in a way where they can truly own things and where they're growing to their highest potential. You don't need more hustle. You need more clarity. And AI, if you use it correctly, right? And remember, we were talking about the 3 different levels, because you can barely scratch the surface, which is what most of you are doing right now, and you'll get some relief. And that relief is a little deceptive sometimes, because you might think, hey, I'm doing great, but you're not getting nearly what you could be getting from this. So using AI correctly is really the fastest way to get here. So what we presented here, what I talked to you about, is start with the miracle hour. And one of the big one is always ask better questions, use better tools. And look, if you want help applying this to your business, we've already built a plug and play system that shows you exactly how. So go to aibusinessscalingblueprint.com, aibusinessscalingblueprint.com, grab the blueprint, and of course, most importantly, start implementing. And if you're ready for that next step, you can also book a scaling advisory call with us, where we'll help you customize the strategy to show you how it runs in your business, so that you can actually really build this business that runs without you. Because, I mean, here's the absolute truth, right? AI is not here to replace you. It's here to release you. It's here to relieve you from the firefighting, from the chaos, from the business that you've outgrown, because you were never meant to run your business forever. You were meant to lead it, not run it. So now it's time to step into that role, and let us help you build the structure that absolutely sets you free, because structure will set you free when you do it right. So until next time, I hope this super helps. Make sure that you grab the blueprint, and I will see you on the next talk.